So I've noticed for a long time the sugar-free thing is a scam. What they're doing is they're removing the nutrients from the food and then they're selling it to you so you go and buy more junk too. And it's just, it's like one in a billion patterns. Is people have apparently, they got their pyramid symbols. They've been working on scamming the planet since they've invented the world's first religions, which of course are all about racial supremacy and worshiping this supreme teleporting alien pedophile fucking race upon the planet and nothing more than that. And pure ignorance, keeping people stupid and mutilating and killing and genocide anyone who doesn't. But it's like, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're intelligent enough to come up with all these sorts of scams over thousands of years and keep them together and shit. I just think they seem like bots. I mean, they're fucking retarded and they're fucking useless. And you combine those things, and you're like, how did they come up with these scams? It's like, just so many of them. It's like they must be sitting in a boardroom discussing how to invent scams and stuff. So it's like you could actually go do actual work. The presidents and the religious people, and the priest and the pope, they could go do real work if they're spending 24 hours a day inventing scams to rob people a million different ways and enslave them. I don't think they're doing anything. Like I said, I know people in the government who, for some reason, had to tell me they don't actually do their work and they outsource it to people in other nations to do their work for them. And it's like, yeah, well, after watching it for so long, it's like, that makes sense, because I don't think they're actually doing any work and stuff. I don't think they're doing all this, but this is just another scam they got going on. I mean, the whole America, pretty much every nation they're in that has their symbols and stuff is probably just this very similar scam. But obviously, America is their capital, and it's where they want to live because it's where they've collected most of their gold chests and stuff. Besides the Vatican, in Rome, Italy, one of their previous capitals that they used to colonize the world, exactly like they did USA, exactly like they did UK, exactly like they did fucking probably tons of people before that. You hear a lot about Greece. I'm sure it was very similar before they had to expire it, like they're expiring USA now to go flee back to their fucking mental fucking retardation paradise. Probably just going back there because it's like they want to go back there because it's like a block away from the pyramids and shit. They probably left some fucking spacecraft back there or something when they crashed their mothership on Earth. Who knows? Who knows where these retards really come from? I mean, they seem like non-existent bots, but that doesn't mean, there's fucking Koopa's a bot in a video game, and he runs Koopa Kingdom, and he guards the fucking fire gate and shit. So, doesn't mean just because they're fucking bots that they just sit there and smack themselves in the face like they're retarded. Not every human does that. I definitely know a couple who don't do that. And so, but like I said, some of those who I, would consider actually doing something like, let the fucking can off the fucking beans and shit, let the lid off the can of beans, that they weren't actually doing anything at all, which makes sense, because like some people just be like literally not doing anything, not capable. They'd be like devolving into like 400-pound beans who just like lay around all day because they're so busy not doing anything. So it's hard to imagine those people are like, actually inventing all these scams. They're inventing heaven, and they're inventing space, and blah, blah, and, whatever the other races they got their space heaven name when they were colonized and replaced, genocided and replaced by these people. Fucking, but yeah, I mean, how come the humans are so fucking stupid and lazy? They don't do anything either. I mean, damn, is it like, you know, technically I was in other nations and they weren't like fucking 300-pound fucking walruses, but so maybe those people are actually doing shit. But then again, I was like kind of like analyzing how we're like pretty much in the middle of like some fucking place that has no warehouses and has fucking tons of residents, and then there's always food and the shelves are always stocked, and and like there's a couple small trucks, but there's definitely like no semis, you know, large semis. There's a couple smaller ones I've seen. Shit, you can't even get a lot of trucks up and down some of those hills and roads. And the roads are just too steep and windy to fit like a lot of big trucks up and down every day. I still didn't see any and shit. And it was more populated than any place I've been to in America. But yet it was always stocked and everything. It was weird. It was real. But anyways, it just seems like another scam. I mean, man, look, the whole nation's just like an arm of previous empires, and so like just like many of the previous empires, I'm pretty sure it was built upon like scams. Like you come here and you'd be like, you just like scam the people and like you take everything, including their lives, so you can take their land and then build your country, expand your empire further. It just, man, I mean, there's just like so many scams going on. Like they just like, it's like the human race is just like fucking rat people trying to Jabba the Hutt's trying to scam each other. Like how the fuck does that like even exist? Like people aren't just like, well, we're not gonna buy that, but it's on the shelf, I have to buy it. Well, you don't. Just because it's on the shelf, you don't have to buy it. That's really stupid. Like they're taking the food out of food and then they're selling it to you, and then you're gonna go buy food to replace the food that was taken out of the other shit you buy. And most people are just sitting around fucking stuffing their face full of fucking low-fat potato chips and shit. I don't know. I guess maybe it's like, you know, maybe it's in the DNA. They're just trying to hoard as much as they can, and they're like, well, if I get sugar-free Pepsi, then I have more Pepsi than everyone else. I have more Pepsi. I'm more Pepsi than everyone else. I'm becoming one with the Pepsi, and haha, no one else is. I imagine maybe that might be the thoughts going inside some people's heads. You know, if they actually have thoughts. I don't know what it's like to be one of the Santa Clausites, one of the COVID people, but I guess I kind of figured there's no thoughts, you know, after 2020. I was like, oh, they must not have any thoughts, huh? But fucking that explains like how half the people I know, like they disappear. Like you live with them and they disappear because there's like a TV in another room, and you never hear from them again and shit. And they're doing like, you know, all these old fucking caveman things, like, you know, banging on stones with hammers, or watching television, or reading books. I've never met a person who read books. That's a stupid thing. I think I met one person who says they read books. I met a lot of people who say they read books, though, haven't I? But I've never met a person who I've seen reading a book. I don't think so. So I guess now I'm being gullible here. Like whenever I'm like, oh, I know this person who didn't do something. Well, no, I don't. I don't at all. Don't think I do. I know like one or two people who like taught me shit and they wanted to do things. even like some of those people are pretty suspect. You know, when you come from like different states and you come into my state and you know people, so you know everyone who runs the state, so you only have to like go work with one person. You know, because you're going to work for like Jeffrey Epstein and you're getting paid every time you do that. Um, you know, that's weird. You can just walk across the planet and know everyone on the planet. That's a lot of weird shit like that happens in my life. Um, Including being born in this scam ass nation and shit. Fucking full of just like gerbils who are like fucking have devolved to learn to scam each other or some shit. Fucking some weird ass shit, dude. For the most part, the humans like I just sit here and watch them do absolutely nothing except for participate in it. I mean, I didn't watch them do that because it's like I'm not gonna watch them do anything because it'd just be like, then I'd be watching TV too, right? If I was watching them watch TV, then I'd be doing that too. I don't think so. We're not gonna do that. As much as they've been trying to trick me into being with their fucking Jabba the Hutt race fucking the whole time I'm here. What happens is they better get the fuck out of the room and go to a different room and shit, or I'm gone. Fucking, because we're not gonna watch them fucking drool on themselves. I don't know. I don't know what it is they think they're doing. Probably not. I know what they think. They're telling me they're going to school to be. They're a surgeon. They're literally a person who probably couldn't pass kindergarten. They're like, I'm going to be a surgeon. It's like, okay, well, you would have to read a book first and learn about that. Not everyone's like that. Like, but like maybe there's just a certain half of the population that is. I'm not sure what the problem is, but I think it's got to do a lot with a race enslaving this planet, fucking forcing people to be around them and their diseased fucking lifestyles. You know, like USA does, like Israel America does to the world. They force the whole fucking world to fucking accept their homosexual pedophilia and genocidal enslavement. And that's why they're so scared of everyone else having nukes, because they're the genocidal caveman capital of the world. You know, they showed the world, they showed Japan, they showed the whole world when they nuked Japan that they're going to kill everyone. You know, just like they've been showing everyone since they left the Middle East and shit that they're going to kill everyone. Okay, and it's never a good idea to listen to them. Like, what was that? Gaddafi listened to them. And they're like, well, if you just give up your weapons, we'll be peaceful. And they're like, okay. And then they kill him, like, in the next month. It's like, have you never met one of these people? First of all, you don't give up your weapons when they say to. Second of all, what you do is you fucking band together and you try to build some nukes, because whoever doesn't have nukes is going to fucking die on this planet. And, I mean, they're trash. They're scared to death. They're pussies and shit. So they're probably not going to use nukes on people who have nukes, because they're like just bitches. As much as they're fucking genocidal, pedophile, child serial killers, fucking with no emotions, you know, just fucking mindless bots who can't even fucking mimic emotions properly when they're trying to deceive you and shit. Other than manipulation and fucking threats, seems to be what their people do. Fucking, that's all they can do besides fucking eat potato chips and shit and drool on themselves and drool on children's dicks. Man, fucking, it's been like supposedly 6,000 years these people have been doing this across the planet, and just everyone just like lets it happen. Although I can tell you in America, they're lying to you. There's not like a lot of these other looking people here. There's like a few people they brought over from the Egypt area and shit here, but for the most part, they're blaming someone else for their fucking genocide that they just genocided and shit. That's pretty obvious. Fucking. And you can just walk through the nation, probably any city, and see that that's who actually populates it, not some invisible fairy tale people from Sweden or some shit. Fucking. But that's how that works, right? You write a Bible saying you were like slaves, and then every new religion you create, which religion is just racial supremacy for one race only. Fucking, you just create a new fucking, I'm a victim. Jeffrey Epstein's a victim, and Donald Trump and Elon Musk are victims of their own families. They're so victimized, rolling around in their gold cars. They're so victimized. They run the world and they own all that they literally own and print the currencies. They're victims. The Bible said so. They're such victims. Oh my God. Fuck, dude. Dude, they were actually selling the Bible and shit. And man, that race is way the fuck out of hand. That's a disease who's destroyed most of the fucking planet and shit. And if people don't fucking stop them, the last few people left on the planet are going to be gone and shit. Because, yeah, really, as dumb as fucking humans are, there's no reason not to rush to replace them with fucking robots and shit. And now that they have them, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to do that. But guess who's going to be on your side to help you fucking try to fight it off? It'll be people who look exactly like them. It'll be their cousins and their aunts and their uncles. Just like Satan is their fucking twin that they invented and is ran by their race, just like every other. Just like the Pope is the fucking preachers and fucking synagogue dwellers and, all the same fucking is Einstein, that little fucking atheist bitch fucking needs his fucking family's bones fucking snapped and stabbed to death with the broken bones and shit. These people need to be aired on TV having this done to their fucking race to get them the fuck off this planet. I am fucking tired of you pieces of shit. I am happy to see you fuckers dying in these floods and these fires and shit. And isn't that cute? Like, I didn't ask for that, but I'm watching the motherfuckers get flooded and their fucking places burnt down. And then after it, like the day after, they get frozen. Like, you gotta realize whatever's in charge here really doesn't like these pieces of shit fucking. And hey, if we supposedly got rockets to go to space, we would obviously have technology to be able to control the weather, because that's some low-level dildo shit right there to control the weather versus going to heaven and shit. Fucking, man, I can't believe, like, I have to exist amongst these pedophile, rapist pieces of shit. Like, literally, my whole life is their race trying to rape and enslave me. Like, not trying. They've done it. That's all it's been. I don't go anywhere. I can't do anything. The only thing I've ever been able to do is fucking spend every second of my life avoiding the white cracker fuckers fucking from the Middle East with their Bible and their black fucking hair and black eye fucking in their obviously halflings who are fucking following them around and shit. Same fuckers, why they've been trying to drug and kill me since I'm a child. This is my family, supposedly. Obviously, they're not living beings, so that's kind of hard for them to accept that they're my fucking family. Because how the fuck do I just turn your fucking brain off in 2020 if you were ever a living fucking being? That's not real. But they definitely do due to their torture and enslavement and drugging and fucking helping the parasite fucking force their way into my life and shit like that. Fucking, that's beautiful, like, hey, if that shit keeps up, dude, we can actually cleanse these fuckers off the planet. I mean, obviously, this ain't gonna work, fucking rounding them up. There's so fucking many of them, but I can tell you, like, whatever's going on with the weather here, that shit's fucking doing a good job, fucking. That's like a, It's like a good start. You know, Joey jumping on my car and killing himself was never going. His family probably bred 3 more fucking turds out their fucking womb that fucking day. His family alone, his like, you know, actual mom probably had 3 fucking kids that day with her fucking whore trash ass fucking to replace that little bitch. But I can tell you that is not promising. Although following up that, we did have 9/11, which was probably a lot of them fucking dying. And then obviously since then, a lot of them fucking were dying because if they gotta fucking prove something, or actually, you know, I don't know, I have a different theory why those things might have happened after 2020, but shh, don't talk about it out loud. Fucking. Oh, man. It's just like scam fucking central, dude. Like, terrorists, them being like nothing but scammers, not even having the ability to have an emotion beyond that. It's like one of their best traits and shit. Inventing like thousands of years of, 124, 245 different true religions for each people they colonize and forcing people to worship them as gods and donate all their money to them or they're going to die like their family did and then still kill them off the whole time. Fucking just play with them. Just play with them, do dumb shit like take the nutrients out of food and sell it to them, so force them to go buy more food to try to, because you're going to be hungry after you drink some water that's fucking got dye in it. It's not actual food. Fucking, see, take the sugar out of the orange, you're not getting it. Fiber is in food. Plastic is in food. If I eat plastic, my body's not going to be... Well, actually, you know what? Maybe if I ate plastic, it'd be like, more nutrients than drinking water with dye in it and shit. Fucking... But damn, dude. This earth has gone on far too fucking long like this. Like, I've been forced to be here amongst these fucking do-nothings the whole fucking time. Just like, I mean, they're like doing nothing good. They are raping, they are fucking trying to kill, they are fucking drugging people, they are trying to enslave people. They are fucking talking to me like I'm a fucking stupid gerbil when they're the ones who believe in Santa Claus and failed kindergarten. And I won't be able to fail kindergarten when I'm fucking dead. Yet alone I could do what they do when they're 80 when I was 1 year old. So that's that's like some real vicious shit. Like the rest of you might not understand that, but when you got a dog like running around trying to tell you about science and shit, and it's so great. Like first of all, science people don't go running around. Intelligent people don't be like, oh, I know this is a fact and everything. Like, you're wrong. It's like, that's where you actually don't know anything and shit like that. But I mean, that's just one thing in a million. I mean, the drugging, the humans in this fucking shitbag nation have been. My one parent, the trash who kicked out the one who would have fucking smashed her fucking head open like she needed. Fucking did. Fucking should have fucking finished the fucking job. Fucking, the good parent. Well, the Christians have this story. The Jews, Christians, whichever fucking snakeskin they're gonna run from this time. They got this story and shit where they rape and kill people who are better than them. Going somewhere. That's how slime fucking exists in this fucking world and becomes the capital because they're like bandied. I doubt they actually can read their Bibles to fucking learn the story of Esther, but the game definitely makes the little bots repeat the fucking story of Esther and shit. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly all Christianity is their race coming from the Middle East and raping and killing everyone and forcing the children of the people they just raped, meaning halflings, meaning they're children too, but I mean, they have no emotions. It's not like anyone gives a shit about anyone, is it? But definitely interacting with them, you can tell just like zero fucking emotion. It's all fake and fraudulent if it's fucking coming from them. That means they got a Bible story to tell you real fucking soon and shit in a fucking collection plate to pass around if they're gloomy, loomy, numb and loomy to the naked has paws healed. Oh, pass the donation plate around. Fucking, it's probably about the only time they're showing fucking emotion, real emotions. Probably when they're sucking children's dick. You can see in the pictures they put in their newspapers of when they're sucking children's dicks. Fucking, they look like, they're in the church or synagogue, wherever, fucking, because not all fucking of the rituals are done in their little fucking hospitals. The good, peaceful, drug dealing, cartel, genocidal fucking pieces of shit who fucking support, who run and protect the pedophilia trade, the drug trade, and are backing up the genocide of any other fucking nation who fucking wants to fucking make their own drugs and not pay their markup prices for their garbage. Fucking, those are the good people. Doctors are the good people. Pedophiles, rapists, child rapists, child mutilators, dope dealing. The cartel leaders are the good people. Of course they are, because they own everything. And if you own everything, you're the good people. That's why white people are the good people, because they own everything. And these people ain't even white. They killed them all and shit and replaced them. Why the fuck do you think they say they're from the fucking Middle East and shit? Well, they're fucking lying, but they were once fucking trampling through that area and killed off most people there and replaced them and forced them to fucking worship them as gods. I'm sure of that. But that was a long time ago. They didn't come from Europe and shit. They're telling you that. Why the fuck do you think they spend every cent they have fucking trying to fucking genocide the fucking Middle Easterners and steal land there? They tell you, because we are Middle Easterners. They're not quite, but you could be fooled because looking at them, they sure the fucking European. They've probably raped some since then. That's probably why they got some peachy skin. Probably how they got the gray skin. Unless you really want to think they're aliens. I mean, it's hard because they're like retarded bot aliens at best. So it's hard to like actually think, It's hard to be like, oh, that's even a human and shit after 2020, like. It's like, that's why they fucking disappear, fucking, and you're like right beside them, and they just fucking appear. That's amazing. But yeah, dude, that's just one thing in a million, and it just goes on and on and on, and no one does any fucking thing. Is that because like everyone is busy enjoying scamming each other? They're all. Like, I know people, I pretty much assume it's like this, right? Like, they're selling crack to each other that's not really crack and baking soda. And like, when they run out, they'll go back and buy the same fucking baking soda from the person they just fucking sold it to and shit. Because gerbils, man. I don't know if you've ever seen a gerbil before, but there's no thought processes going on there. It's just swinging fucking its claws and... It looks like it's going to win a fucking marathon and shit. Those fuckers are more active than humans. But when's the last time you heard of a gerbil fucking winning a Nobel Science Prize? Or fucking working at McDonald's even? Fucking not at all. All that misused energy, it's like they're fucking being electrocuted in their brain or something, and it's causing it to make it look like it's an animated creature or some shit. I don't know, man. This shit is fucking wild having to be like this. I noticed they started fucking trying to change around and sell out, like buy me out around like age 30. Women brought me diamonds and shit, and I was like, hell no. By that time, like, okay, so it's weird, like, until I learned the lesson that I shouldn't take anything from a fucking human because they're there to fucking play games, and we don't want anything from them. We don't want them to be able to, use that bait that they've done something. They they bought me. They took me to Disney Princess Castle, so they took me somewhere. Like they took me to a gay club when I was 8, a gay bar when I was 8. So they used to take me places. Like, so I owe them now because they took me to a gay bar so they could find a fucking lover and shit like that. And might have been more sinister than that in some cases, but hey, probably was. I mean, it wouldn't feel sinister if it wasn't supposed to be sinister. Now, would it? Fucking. And it went. Look how all this shit's unfolded. Like they're in the open, being this type of trash, forcing it on you now. That's just who their people are. That's just what they do. They do that to their own fucking children. I'm sure Elon Musk's child wants to be a woman because Elon Musk probably rapes it all the time. If not, the other fucking parent he chose does and shit, and that's probably a man too. So, I mean, it's just nothing new there. I mean, that was everyone knew that back in the 80s that if you were gay, it's because you got raped when you were a child by your fucking some man, and if you actually have a parent, then your parent would make sure other men aren't around, gay men aren't around you, unless they're involved in it. And I've definitely seen enough to know that, dude, that's obvious. I used to be like, oh, maybe that ain't the case and shit, but it's like, obviously, these agents just link it together. That's who he is. That's what his people have done for thousands of years. They literally legalized child rape, but they're Nazi fucking, they're 200 Nazi religions and shit. Fucking I guess they got an anti-religion now. Someone must have been born smart enough with a brain to be able to fucking be like, oh, I don't think your invisible friend is real sometime in the past 100 years or something, because they didn't have to, stop talking about invisible people until just recently. It took like thousands of years for humans to be like, maybe invisible people don't exist. As they must have injected a baby with meth and it got all smart or something, and I grew up and started talking about that, and the idea spread like wildfire or something. Fucking maybe it's just a Nazi race going across the planet saying invisible people are telling them to kill and enslave and rape everyone. Maybe invisible people really aren't telling them to do that. Fucking damn, that took thousands of years for these fuckers to have that fucking thought. Can you imagine? Like that, it's like a baby thought. Fucking one of my first memories was like looking at these people like they're fucking retarded when they're talking about this shit, and then testing it. Like as soon as the chance rolled around, we fucking tested it, and we knew right then they're fucking lying and shit. Being deceptive. Weak people have to lie to children because they're the type of people who get their fucking heads smashed open by grown-ups if they start lying to them. So they have to fucking go lie to and abuse children. That's why like every pedophile looks the same pretty much. Fucking they all have that little slimy Bill Gates, Jeffrey Epstein, the Pope look to them, because it's just like he's like and the Gargamel look and shit. Fucking, it's because the fucking everyone else is smacking him for what they do and shit, and the only person they can prey upon is a fucking toddler and shit who can't do anything. Doesn't even have thoughts yet. It's just a fucking doesn't even have a soul in it yet and shit. Fucking. Just a little meat puppet. Not even a puppy. It's just a meat ball that lays there. It makes gurgling noises. Fuck, dude. Some fucking... Man. I was tired of this shit when I came here, dude. I can't see why, like, everyone else is so fucking lazy. They just, like, accept it. Like, you don't like being here, fight for your right to fucking die at least. No one else should have to be a slave because you want to keep them alive to be a slave. I think most of those people down low on the totem pole are still just the same slime up at the top. Because in my experience, yeah, like, there, Jabba the Hutt looks like he's a kingpin in the Star Wars universe, but in Star Wars kind of like is this everything's just kind of like the same thing, and Star Wars kind of like mirrors, the world, and like there's the Republic who is like these evil Darth Vader fuckers, but they're good and they control the universe. To themselves they're good and shit. But to the outsiders watching the movie, all it focuses on is like this group of fucking a couple sand people who wear robes and fucking hide in caves their entire life, and they're the good people. In reality, that's like Israel America, fucking, the fucking Star Wars, but it's kind of unrealistic, the Jabba the Hutt thing, because he can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? He's just like a giant ball of slime. He can't move on his own. Everyone else goes and brings him people to rape and kills people for him and shit like that. It's literally a giant, like a giant ball of slime, like the size of half a house. It can't even roll. It's not even a ball. It's just like it's a giant blob of slime that just like. Have they ever even made a Star Wars? I know the original ones they didn't, where Jabba the Hutt even moved. Like, he couldn't even move. And yet, he's like a large-ass kingpin of the Empire and shit. Because everyone else who is not Jabba the Hutt is killing and kidnapping people for Jabba the Hutt to rape and enslave and... I mean, he's not enslaving anyone. Probably can't even rape anyone. But probably try and, kiss him. That's bad enough. Like, that is rape when it comes from someone you don't want. It's the same fucking thing and shit. Fucking have Jabba the Hutt kiss you and be raped. Have Jabba the Hutt hug you is about the same thing as being raped and shit, I would assume. And you can see that too. I mean, the story doesn't play it any differently. Like, Leia is like, oh, get away. It's the rapist and shit. It's the therapist. It's therapist. Fucking, that's another one of their scams. I mean, just look, so many of the scams they got going on. Therapy, you need someone to talk to. You got to pay them to talk to you. Wow. I mean, you got some real issues. You got some issues that talking to people ain't gonna fucking help and shit. You need to lay off that social crack pipe and shit for real. That's not gonna help you talking to someone, especially talking to Jabba the Hutt's people, because Jabba the Hutt's people are walking around the planet enslaving and drugging everyone. And what are the therapists doing? Enslaving, creating these fucking massive systems of welfare, of donations, tributes. It's just like the medical system is like they're another one of their religions. It is. That's what Einstein's there for. That's what Satanism and science and atheism is there for. It's to replace their other 200 religions, because some accident happened. Some freakish accident happened sometime in the past 100 years, and someone had a thought, and something changed, and they had to roll out the thought crew. They had to change the word heaven to space. They had to change the word God to genius. And they had to stop telling people that their race is gods, and they just had to start putting their people on TV only and in the media only, which probably they were already doing to begin with, right? I noticed even in Mexico, like the most famous star in South America was obviously one of them. Now, obviously, he said he was, so But to me, it was obvious because it looked like three other people I've had in my life. I've had like everyone is them in my life, and so like it's almost like I've met the same people, the same like 9 people. Some of them I met like 3 times. So like considering I've had like 50 people close to me or less, like 30 maybe, it's really odd that I meet like people who look exactly the same. But that's what DNA does. That's what genetic code is. That's going to make you look exactly like what you are and your family. That's what Donald Trump looks like. The people I know and the other people I knew. And, oh yeah, Donald Trump looks like the dude sitting in my life a long time ago, and then the dude who was there when they poisoned me and then kicked me out of the hostile. And then he was there to play the role of the good guy. Who also looked like the dude who, when they were fucking with my car and chasing me, following me across the country, and I stopped at a place to see what was wrong with my car and shit. And he looked like the dude who worked at that place and was trying to get me to worship his race as gods and shit, because invisible people said I'm supposed to worship their race as gods. Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess, and then you got the other ones, like, just very similar anyways. It's boy, it's girl, it's Pat. What's that? It's a Bible part. It must be a person selling Bibles. Fucking. And fucking. Too scared to come out in the open about their genocide and pedophilia. Fucking, that'd almost be respectable if they were out in the open with that. Of course, then the other humans wouldn't have anything to hide behind. You know, like, oh, I didn't know they were doing. I didn't know I was raping children. I thought I was doing it for God. That I was a ritual for God. I didn't know. I didn't know it was a baby's penis. I thought it was its umbilical cord. I mean, you really don't want to give these people time to talk, do you? Fucking, because that's the type of shit to come up with. I like to cut them off early with all their shit. Fucking. I noticed they did a couple times pick up my shit, but I guess in general, just they don't want to repeat that stuff, you know. So apparently they can pick up my shit, you know, kind of like the COVID thing. They can pick up what I say, fucking, when no one's around. And yeah, it's beautiful. I get to go to the store and there's like nothing that tastes good to drink because it's all like this sugar-free garbage. So I like pretty much have to buy like Gatorade. Trying to think, oh yeah, energy drinks. Imagine that they're like workout drinks too. Like that's like the largest selection of only sugar-free shit. And it's like, why do people who need that stuff need sugar-free stuff? Like they're literally like people trying to trying to force themselves to eat more calories so they can grow and stuff, and then they take it out of bodybuilding shit. Oh, it's weird and stupid. Fucking. So they like, it surpasses the idea that they invented it to help fat people stop being fat, because it's in the workout shit these days. Like I don't think there's many fat people who work out, or they wouldn't be fat. That's what working out does to you. So it makes you need calories, not have too many of them. And so you can just tell it's like it's something that's going on for a minute. At first it was okay because it's like, oh well, we got Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi. Oh, that's great. You guys can have that. And then of course that's probably like poison because you drink it and it like burns your fucking throat and it tastes like chemicals. Maybe they're trying to kill off the fat people. No, probably not. I mean, I don't think they really are smart enough to figure out if they were going to kill off the fat people, they'd be killing off themselves. Again, that's one of those weird anomaly things where they're probably doing it and they probably just aren't smart enough to figure it out. That if you know, just like them pushing the whole fucking tranny thing and homo sex kid thing, like, and then Elon Musk gets mad about his kid wanting to be one after he's probably been raping it forever and shit. Fucking after, and his website's the one advertising that stuff and shit in the advertisements. As much as he's saying he's against it, he's the one fucking promoting it because that's all his race does and shit. Like that's the only thing the fucking Bible people have fucking ever, like, besides worship that one special race as gods, the who white people. Fucking the only thing that it does, that it says it does, is fucking rape children. Like, there's no other value they've carried forth throughout the years. I guess, you got the story of Esther where you rape and kill everyone you meet, like act like you're their lover, you're their husband, you're their wife, and you're really just killing them and shit slowly by destroying their bloodline and mixing it with fucking filth. And then technically the original book's just a manual of genocide and racial supremacy and slavery. So they are true to that. I mean, I guess that's why the pedophilia stuff remains even as they invent their science snake skin and shit, atheist snake skin. It's weird. Someone could, like, maybe they keep all people who aren't their people, like, brain dead so they can't become scientists, but that's weird that, like, science and doctors would support that if any of them weren't their race. Because I'm pretty sure it's genetics causing it. But man, this is another list. Like, is Earth ever going to change? What was it, someday? Just like the Earth's going to get erased and then reset, so all that stuff can go away? Or are they going to? Are people going to go and protest for 10 years to get rid of one thing while they're inventing 90,000 other things? And there's already 90,000 things they do. They're going to change one thing at a rate of negative changes every fucking year. That seems to be how they do it. Like the people who are against their fucking Middle Easterner ass fucking coming around and genocide and colonizing the planet. Most of them are just turning to the 240 other fucking racial supremacist organizations they've invented, like Marxism and atheism and scientism and Satanism, fucking, because no one else is allowed to own anything or do anything, because these people are just like extreme fucking Jabba the Hutt fucking enslavers and shit. Fucking. So even if you have a thought that, oh, maybe your invisible friend doesn't exist, so we should stop listening to that, like, everyone's still like, well, we can still worship them as gods. We can still mutilate children for them. We can still let them scam us. We can still let them own everything, every building in the nation, every store in the nation. We can still let them own all the media. We can still let them fucking rape. We can help them rape children. We can fucking help them drug us. We can fucking help them run drug cartels. We can go kill for them and steal land for them. Just stop telling us it's for your invisible friend, because I feel stupid about it. The whole point of opposing any of their bullshit isn't. It doesn't even matter if they have an invisible friend or not. It matters that the fucking trash that they're acting like and shit needs to be put an end to it. It's the only fucking thing that ever made sense to me. why anyone would waste a second talking about any of this shit is because they're going around genociding and enslaving the fucking planet. And no one even really does that because, fuck, dude, I think everyone I've ever met is like part of it. Like, I'm pretty sure I've never met a person who is against that shit. Um, Maybe a couple people, maybe a couple females might have suggested that they were, but I think it always requires me to say something. Generally, like the people who would be like, oh, I'm against that. Like, I know there's like 30 years of me fucking telling them, fucking, it's time to erase this type of shit off the planet before I ever heard them say, oh, yeah, that's probably not a good thing. Or I'm against that. So like, that's not good. Like you tell someone who you are and then they like say they are who you are. I'm used to dealing with that. That's pretty much 90% of the people sent into my life that they go and pick up and find in other cities and states and bring to me and shit. Fucking people. And of course, they're fucking, everyone I stayed around long enough, I fucking figured out they were lying. These days I'm a little bit faster at fucking testing people. But I still know it's still happening. It's still fucking happening. Like there's still people fucking telling me they are, like, being sent to me, obviously, to tell me they are something that they clearly aren't in order to try to get me to burn my life off fucking around them and shit. Fucking would just waste my life. Which seems to be a theme with what they're doing. I mean, that's part of their little Esther Bible stories, I think, is you just rape the fucking man. You send one of the rat whores to rape the fucking man. And then you enslave the children with the Christian Bible, and you prevent it from going anywhere. You make the child not be able to participate in modern society. That way that low IQ rat trash can fucking remain at the top because they're never going to advance. They're never going to be able to fucking evolve their DNA into anything fucking that can do anything, so they have to keep everyone down below them. Their DNA, I don't think, is even interested in that type of shit. They're interested in fucking enslaving people with fake schools and fake fucking belief systems. But I don't think they're actually like mentally interested in advancement. Even Elon Musk says he has to hire foreigners. That means he could never advance himself and shit. He was a banker. That's how he got famous at first, which he kind of didn't even exist back then. That was weird. It wasn't that to invent a bunch of shit, and still, it's, last I checked, it's still a bunch of fake AI videos talking about him. Like he's just a bot in the Matrix that the little evil fucking Matrix race had to fucking invent to try to do something. Probably, try to erase. He's going to be a victim, right? He was a slave to America like he was back in Egypt and shit. Fucking, he was a slave. And then he tried to save it with the cryptocurrency. Blah, 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 blah. Who knows? I mean, I think it's pretty well written out with this rail-based fucking storyline that the retarded asses have going on. Fucking, I think it's pretty well written out what they're doing, right? Yeah, they gotta just controlling the money and talking about the digital currency, and their race already controlled everything before. They're creating a scapegoat. Satan is their scapegoat and shit. Fucking, they are Satan. Fucking, they literally are the people who wrote the Satanic Bible. We don't have to look for invisible people. People looking for invisible people might have are probably their race trying to deceive you, because if you weren't their race and you were looking for invisible people, they'd pick your ass up and they'd start drugging you and locking you in a rubber room to get you off the streets, because only they're allowed to walk around being mentally retarded. The other mentally retarded humans aren't producing or benefiting the world, but their race is mentally retarded, so they can't go round their own people up and shit, or if they want to keep conquering and running the world. Well, another TED Talk. Boy, I wonder who owns TED Talks. Could it be the mutant pedophile race who owns everything else runs the TED Talks? Probably, right? Because you guys know anyone of any other race who owns or does anything of value? Holds any position of power in the world? Not too many I've ever seen. Not too many, especially not in America. We can go back to that Abraham Lincoln mental retard looking fucker. That was cute. They destroyed their own statue of him, but then again, that's kind of like their own people destroying their own fucking history to erase it. So know it, because you got to do that shit. They do that in their wars. They go destroy their own temples. The Christians go destroy the Muslim temples in the Middle East, and it's like brothers. It's the same people worshiping the same race. There's a god race and shit. Fucking clearly, they're both people who were raped and colonized by the people from the pyramids and shit. Just like you got fucking 3 of their factions fighting for Ukraine. Same, like all the people who run those nations, look exactly the same except for Putin, but he worships the Pope and shit. So, and then Karl Marx. So, I mean, you'd be a fool to think someone who could make it that far in life is not working for them. Plus, he has that blonde look that they have and shit, with like the cracked out look and shit. But like the Pope really signifies like the bug-eyed, cracked out look. Fucking. But I'm sure anyone who can make it to any of those positions, either they're just bots who don't have thoughts, or they've already figured out who controls the world in order to make it that far. Unless they really just find the dumbest people. But obviously they don't, because they're choosing themselves, so they don't have much. They're choosing like their smartest people and shit. Elon Musk might have to go hire people from fucking other places, other nations, to do any work for him, because he can't do it, but he's at least advanced enough to be able to go do that. That's still, takes some effort and shit. There's like the people I know putting on a show that they're actually doing work and shit like that. Like that's more work than some other people are doing, to put on a show that they're actually doing work. And then, at least one was like, I actually don't do anything, right? Fucking, that's still more work than the average person and shit. I've fucking been around, maybe not I've been around, but I've viewed. I'm sure that takes a bit of work to do. Still, and it's like pure fraudulent work too. It's like a lot of work to do no work and shit. But that seems like one of those other things too. It's kind of like the pyramid. It's a lot of work to do no work. A lot of work to do abso-fucking-lutely nothing, unless that's some conduit where they summon their demon race from the demon dimension or something. Fucking, it's pure trash. It's pure nothing. A pure waste of existence to spend your life building a pyramid. Fucking, supposedly it literally does nothing. Has no purpose. Not even enough room in it to do anything. Supposedly it's not even a tomb for their rich asses, but that's one of those things that changed over the years, kind of like all this other stuff that they They gotta change. Fucking. Well, that's another day out of the way. Fucking. Man, the memories of this earth are just fucking pure shit. It's just like, if I were to have memories of all the mundane shit, I think it's mostly just like trying to avoid this fucking place and the people forced into my life. Few chances I actually got to do that too. I'm surprised that happened. But it's like, I'm not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that works in their favor if I choose to go fucking just disappear in the fucking woods. Hell, they're the ones who wanted me to go fucking to the Princess Castle in the woods and shit like that. I never found Jabba huts out there in the woods. But, that's odd for people who want you to go to them so much. They're never there. But it still ends up being the same thing, you know. It's like, if I go watch a movie without them, I'm still burning my life away, as they wished in the first fucking place. And there should be no reason to be fucking forced to be trapped amongst them. Unless they're just, I mean, so fucking lazy they can't even fight. Some of them claim that they don't like being here either. It's like, well, you're fucking lazy. Stop being lazy. Fight for your right to fucking die. And you wouldn't have to be here and shit if you don't want to be here. But I know a lot of people say a lot of fucking shit that they don't mean, because a lot of people are just social parasites. And which leads to slavery for them. I think I'm downplaying it by saying that social parasitism exists, because obviously the point to talking people usually has a purpose. You're trying to do something when you talk to someone. You're generally not just talking to talk, unless there really are gerbils who are just fucking flapping about, like, you know, like chickens do, and squawking and shit. I'm not sure if they've actually coded that or not, but I have noticed that certain ones I've seen for a long time probably had ulterior motives to the squawking and shit. So, generally as a method. You know, it's like you go around squawking about your racial supremacy, hidden pedophilia fucking cult, global domination cult, fucking... There's a hidden message there. We're not just preaching the good word about our twin brother is going to torture you if you don't worship our race. We're preaching about fucking our twin brother is going to kill you if you don't worship us. Fucking... there's definitely a fucking motive there. You know what I'm saying? It's not just mindless fucking squawking as their people would promote in the same media where they brag about what they're actually doing with it and shit. Like, okay, we can go here tomorrow morning across the street and they'll be squawking for a couple hours. What's going to happen after they're done squawking? Pass the collection plate. Pass the collection plate. So there's a purpose to all that squawking. It's to fucking put your mind to sleep. Put some threats in there. Some covert Jeffrey Epstein fucking passive aggressive threats in there. That you better worship their race or someone's gonna kill you and torture you. They're a little scared to tell you that they wrote the Satanic Bible too, and they created Satan in their Bible. Fucking, they're scared to tell you those things. Fucking, but they will be passing the collection plate, won't they? After a couple hours of limericks, which will... I remember last time I went, it was definitely like some fucking, like, you gotta worship this race or die. Like, they were pretty much saying, you know, the special race we can't name, they're so fucking great. and fucking beautiful like Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates, fucking and Elon Musk and Trump and Biden and all those genocidal heroes like Einstein, Netanyahu, fucking. I remember that clear as day because I was like, oh, what the fuck did I come here for? It sounded like, you know, someone thanked me for being there. I guess people look at me and they think I'm someone, and it's like, I was like weirded out being after like hearing that shit. I was like, pretty sure I had my earbuds in because I never fucking take them out and shit. Fucking, I have fucking wore headphones like I think 3/4 of my life and shit. That's like what's really going on in this world is I have to go around with headphones on fucking 24 fucking 7 to because it's like the same shit over and over. And it's gotten worse since 2020 and shit. Like where all of a sudden I walk around and people are like fucking communicating with each other, but they're communicating with me. It's weird as shit. Someone just okay. So the twin of the person at the store fucking okay. So there's this one person in my life a long time ago, and across the street, like a clone of them appeared. Right, looks the same, fucking sounds the same, has the same attitude, same laugh. Okay, so that person magically found me again, right out front, like a week later. And so they're at there. I went to that store again today, and I like I picked up something, and they were talking to someone on the phone, and what they said on the phone was like entirely relevant to the whole. I picked up something after a little conversation, and then it was entirely relevant to the action. That happened like all fucking day yesterday, too, at the store. That was so weird. Someone even brought up the Jesus shit yesterday during some of that stuff. I was like wearing Iron Maiden socks, and they played Iron Maiden on the radio. And they don't play Iron Maiden on the radio. And then that was just like one little fucking weird ass thing that fucking happened, like at that store yesterday, too. That's some weird ass shit, fucking. That's some weird ass shit, fucking, when that stuff happens. Fucking. So, I guess I've been wearing headphones my whole life to drown that shit the fuck out. I didn't know. It wasn't fully happening like that until like 2020. When I asked to see everything. And then it became like real fucking fishy how like people are just like demon possessed or some shit. But then that all like fell into place. You know the fucking the annual fucking murder attempts on my life and shit. Like obviously it had something to do with that. Fucking probably has something to do with why when they do those things they get real people like the world gets fucked up over that shit. Probably has something to do with that. Fucking. But I don't see these things of value, actually changing. You know what I'm saying? Besides just like the ignorant shit fucking happening. The little like buyouts, like people offering me diamonds and shit. Like my girlfriend asking me fucking if I want my diamond in a fucking earring or a necklace. I didn't consider it my girlfriend because that was fishy. People with voodoo dolls of me are probably not my girlfriends, and people who work for the government probably are not my girlfriends either. Fucking. And people who get cancer are probably not my friends because I kind of have an idea with this COVID and this 9/11 shit that cancer might be something that, like things, not necessarily cancer. I mean, after the Joey shit, the COVID shit, looking back at the Joey shit, I'm like, oh, some of this shit's set up. Like, so it makes me like, be like, oh, if someone has cancer, that might be someone who is like being cursed before they come fuck with me and shit. I kind of, like COVID is kind of weird, like
the humans just did all that shit to me, and then they did it to themselves, and then that's not the fucking first time something like that's happened. Uh, so, it made me look back at the cancer thing, like, wow, is whatever's like inventing and controlling this shit like torturing these fuckers before they have a chance to come torture me, and then they still do it. Fucking. It's weird, like shit like that happens, but like I have to watch out for that. It's like supposedly am I supposed to accept gifts like that? Like, what purpose do I have with a diamond? I lost all my jewelry in 2020, anyways. Fucking. So that would just be trash gone. Like everything else I own is gone that year, though. But I tried to save the jewelry to fucking resell it. Plus, I had nice shit I like, not diamonds. Fucking. I don't think the fucking how expensive it is matters versus if I like it or not. But yeah, dude, that's some weird ass shit. Obviously, I was even raised by people who would be trying to buy me out with like who would try to buy me out with Tootsie Rolls or some shit like that, or say a fucking knitted sweater. People who would do that, like warning me about people like that when I was older, like when I was younger. And it's like, oh, I watch out for people with diamonds. That way people with knitted sweaters can afford to fucking buy me out, huh? Some weird shit going on here. Too weird for me to fucking be able to enjoy it. Fucking, I know that much. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was set up for that not to happen, not to enjoy, like, life. Seems to be the only fun really has come from these other things and shit. 2020 was, like, weird. But if I wasn't weirded out by it, I could have enjoyed it. So. I definitely didn't have a problem before seeing all that stuff, enjoying it when it happened in 20, before that. When like people try to kill me and they kill themselves in the process of it. Like that was like always kind of like amusing, even though like I'd lose an entire fucking year of my life over it. Like literally, at least. And it's like those are like the little fucking the 5 seconds of life. Each year you get to enjoy something. Is watching like the waterfall fucking flow backwards and shit on people dumping it on you or something. That definitely doesn't even make anything worth living for. It's like how did they get to control the waterfall anyways in the first place to dump it on me if they're like fucking gerbil bots? The fuck's the point of that? Fucking. So I expect to see little things like this change, right? Considering you can just pretty much see that no one cares about anything. So that was like 2020 before some sort of protest over certain shit broke the fuck out, and that was definitely controlled. So and that was definitely used for reverse purposes, I think, of what it could have done if it were actually designed to liberate people, fucking, or whatever they are. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to the sugar-free scam to end soon. Put that in the list. Yeah, I think if I make a book, just like, I don't want to detail everyone because I don't have that many years, that many centuries of life left. But I can make like a book, just like, numbering, like the dictionary or something. Make a little short definition maybe of all the little scams that go on that just add up to, just like a 10 million point slavery system happening on the planet. It's just one of those little things you have to like deal with every time you look up from the ground. Every time I go to the store, I see that, and it's like all over everything. And then there's the brainwashing fucking sign too, and it says healthy for you. And it's like, it's healthy for me. Wait a minute, that's like poison. That shit like is probably killing people. But yeah, I'm sure it's healthy. And then, so what I'm going to do, since it's so healthy for me, is I'm going to go buy some food that actually has sugar in it, because I need food. If I'm going to waste time eating, I might as well fucking actually get some nutrition and shit. If you've ever noticed that at a store, if you look up, like, okay, so the music's designed to fucking lullaby you to sleep, and then there's a whole bunch of cute fucking words all over the wall, like, buy it before it's gone, and buy now. It's just like that fucking one movie, They Live. Even with that alien race fucking enslaving the planet, like, the glasses are kind of like just a metaphor for knowledge. Fucking, yeah, that was the final straw, looking up and seeing the sign that said it's nutritious and it's healthy for you, and it's like, no, it's not. This shit like burns. It shit feel like it like eats through your throat or something. That's probably where cancer comes from, right? Fucking probably is one of the places it comes from and shit. All the old people are like, oh, that stuff didn't used to exist and shit. I don't remember hearing about any old people dying from cancer, like old famous people. I know a person who got fucking tit cancer, but I also know that people get implants, get that. So, yeah. Supposedly, that's what I was told, anyways. And you see it happening, right? So, I don't know if you've ever dated women, but or I guess these days you can date men who have fucking breast implants too. But I do notice the ones who are models, or some of them told me they got that shit too. So models or whatever, famous beauty pageant people, they've probably been doing that fucking a lot longer than just recently and shit. I didn't see a lot of it back in the day, but I did see some stuff, I think yesterday, that made me think that it was definitely like just not well documented back then. Fucking. Well, there we go. There's another thing. I'm not gonna write a frickin' book. I'm not gonna write anything. I hate writing. I used to write till my hands hurt. My hands hurt just fucking some days. Just like ghost pain and shit from it. But fuck it. I still gotta check it all the time to see if it's fucking swollen and blistered and shit. Fucking calloused or whatever, because it feels like it sometimes. I don't know. Might be why that finger's like twisted. compared to the others, but who knows? Who knows about that? I know it used to fucking have the shit going on, so I'm not fucking writing nothing. Plus, fucking, do I own like a book publishing house or something? Who's gonna, wait, is Shlomo gonna publish my books or something? That would be weird, wouldn't it? They wouldn't let me run for president. It fucking, I haven't had a normal job since fucking that stuff, so that's kind of weird that I would be allowed to write a book, but I can't work a normal job or run for president. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm stupid. I literally kind of figured out that that'd be a dumb idea to attempt. Fucking write a book, and that's just what humans need too, is a book of complaints, just so we can list all the problems in the world as if no one ever knew they existed, and then people can just go around and be like, and then in 10 years of complaining, after 10 years of complaining about it, they'll just move on, because that's all that ever happens anyways, is they just complain about something, and then 4 years later, the next election cycle, it's a new thing to complain about, and they don't even care that nothing ever changed from the last stuff. And it seems to be a cycle here. They call it the election cycle. I think they got it pretty narrowed down after thousands of years of fucking enslaving the planet how to do it. Pretty sure. That's what it seems like. Either that or it's a fucking, they're bots and they got a fucking story script written for them where it's all unfolding. One of the two. It does seem suspect that they could invent all this stuff, because that would take time and effort. And I think that's like something that would severely be, I mean, that itself, it clashes. Like little things like that take more effort than they're actually worth. I don't know about you, but I noticed that, after a short while, like, there could be a better way to do this, huh? There could be a better way to pass the collection plate around and tell people to donate money to me than force them to spend 4 hours on Sunday to do it. Boil that down to like a 15-minute meeting or 5, and then 20 years later we're like, let's find a way to do it in 5 minutes or something like that. And you would think if that's been going on for thousands of years, you could boil down the mind control to something with less effort. Like, they got all this NASA and science stuff going on. That's a hell of a lot of effort for people who have spent thousands of years fucking enslaving and scamming the planet. It's almost like they can't figure out anything. I know, if I'd spent 6,000 years fucking creating schemes like that, I'd be able to fucking boil it down to something less complex than 24/7 TV shows. And I guess a lot of this shit's probably AI generated anyways. Not a single work was done by a single bot in most of these videos, I'm assuming. Half of them don't even have people in them, do they? And people, somehow they have 1 million commenters and shit. You know who owns the internet? They are the ones doing it too. As much as, but they own the government. So when the government, when the judicial system brings in the Bergstein Bears, Zuckerberg, it's not like they're going to ask him like, hey, how come our race owns all the media and our race is scammers? Are you sure that's not? You creating all the scams on your website and it's someone else that accidentally posted that stuff on your website, is that what Elon Musk would say if someone asked him why his website has ads for homosexuality and drugs on it? Well, his family's in the government is not going to ask him any of that. His family in the church is not going to ask him any of that. The Pope, his brother, the Pope, his brother, fucking Joel Osteen, and every other preacher aren't going to ask him. You know, he's their savior. He's selling Bibles for them. Him and Trump are selling Bibles. That's exactly what it is. Fuckers in the closet and shit. They're just in the closet about everything. About their genocide, their scams. They're in the closet about there ain't no fucking invisible person who fucking likes them. And it's just them enslaving the planet by themselves. Fucking... They're in the closet, but they are the Satanists and the atheists too. They're definitely in the closet about, obviously, Elon Musk was really in the closet having that shit advertised on his website. But he's selling a Bible. What do you expect? He's selling Bibles. Of course he's in the closet about it. Like, that's like a don't ask, don't tell. A little bit different than that because they're going around being like, oh, we're against gay people, but, you know, then they're raping children, only males, in these nations anyways. Yeah, there we go. Another scam. Fucking, you know what? That's been a scam all along. They don't have to invent sugar-free shit for fat people, which drowns the market and raises the prices on everything to have to stock the shelves, a whole bunch of shit. You know what fat people could do? They could learn some self-control. They could learn to stop being sloths. They could learn to stop being gluttons. But I guess we gotta care for them. We gotta care for Jabba the Hutt. Because Jabba the Hutt's Jabba the Hutt, and probably fucking, you know, how does Jabba the Hutt move? He won't roll over you, right? He doesn't roll. I don't know. I've never seen him move. Fucking, but he's gonna do something, right? He's gonna have his friends fucking. He's gonna have his friends do something. That's what Jabba the Hutt does. He doesn't roll or walk or move. He doesn't slime, as far as I know. They probably have to. I suppose they got to bring a forklift in to move him if he ever wants to go, you know, to a different space colony or something. Go pick up some chicks at the space bar, man. Go pick up some little boys. But, I mean, clearly it's not for the benefit of fat people. You don't take shit away from people who aren't sloths and gluttons to benefit people who are, right? That doesn't make sense. Unless your planet just happens to be owned by such people, and then that could be a reason why it's happening. Maybe they're trying to drown out society or something, you know. That obviously that's the point of their Bible stories like Esther, is to just totally mutilate and destroy. That's the point of mutilating fucking babies at birth, is to just totally mutilate and crap all over everyone who is not their people, or I don't even, they probably don't. Emotionless things probably don't have any emotions for themselves or their own people, but obviously we wouldn't have to create additional religions, you know, 200 new ones for each people we genocide if we weren't creating them for new people and shit. So, new people who aren't us. Unless we're just snakes shedding our fucking skin everywhere we go and shit, which is probably not it, considering the commandment is to go rape your way into other people's families and genocide everyone who isn't you. So, really the least that they do, but it's like one of their good traits and shit, right? It's just fucking a scam everywhere. Fucking, I can't even remember all the other shit, but it is sick to see that. Fucking, it's healthy for you. You're literally going to pick up something beside it that has sugar in it so you can actually eat. Especially if you're fat, you're going to be picking up something beside it with sugar in it. Fucking. Especially if you're working out. So why do all the workout drinks not have it? That's because same reason they invent fucking new devices all the time and Bill the deformed mutant fucking inbred pedophile Gates like locks you out of old shit. Because they need to sell you new garbage. No one needs. 99% of people don't even need a computer. They could do fine with the phone. All they use it is to look at pictures of naked dogs and find someone to cheat on their husband or their wife with. You don't need a space age power computer to do that. You don't need to upgrade it every 10 years. You can use a computer from 40 years ago to go on Facebook and look at naked dog pictures or find someone to have sex with while your husband's away and shit. That's literally for like people doing some shit. And you don't need ultra high definition 8K fucking resolution Candy Crush. The most generic game ever created. Not even created by itself. It was created by Columns 40 years ago. That's another huge scam thing. There's Sergey and Brin's Google. All their scam apps on there and shit. Like, basically are baiting you into buying a pack and then the game's over. It reaches a dead end after like 2 days of actually playing it. And they got like 10 billion freaking games like that. And they all have like millions of reviews. There's not even that many people on the freaking planet. But they allow that. And they're probably the ones doing it because they're the ones who have been doing that for hundreds and thousands of years. Starting with their little, I am God. We are God. Fucking, we are messengers of God. And he said, give us all your money. And your children's wieners, type scams and shit. Give us all your land and be our slaves. And when you die, you'll get to go to a good place and shit. Fucking. Boy, those are some hard scams to outthink, really, right? I didn't really need to know that there's 240 different ones, all controlled by the same people, to begin questioning what's really going on here. Why don't you pick up a book and it sounds like limericks and shit? Like, you can tell that's probably not written by God, because If you're like some ultra powerful being who creates the whole world, you're probably not going to have to create cute limericks and suggestive stories that can be twisted and manipulated and stuff. And that's a sign of a fucking weak ass coward. That's not the sign of like a god or people who are gods or are related to gods. Fucking. But hey, that's the entire earth, dude. That's like the basis for like what everyone believes in. Is if you don't believe in, one of the 202nd edition, no, it's like 24,000 second edition Bibles. One of the first originals, one of the Egyptian things, one of the you believe in, one of the Catholics, one of the Muslim things. If you don't believe in that, you believe in frickin' their atheism and their Satanism. And it's still the same thing, and it's still just as stupid. It's like, why would you even waste time? Like, I mean, the atheism thing or the scientism thing is a little bit harder to outthink because it looks like shit's actually like real and put together. So that actually, it's not like invisible, and you're not just putting blind faith into the fact that the Pope is the one true, that Catholicism is the one true religion of the world, or Egypt, Amon-Ra is the one true god of the world, or Zeus's family of 24 different gods, and the Greeks 24 different gods, whichever one you want to choose. A little bit harder to outthink the science thing because they don't even point, they just say we're geniuses. They don't even say they're gods anymore. They say we're geniuses. They don't say God has chose us to rule over you. They say we're ruling over you because we're geniuses. Fucking, so that's like a little bit harder to outthink, but I mean, you can only see so many Bigfoot stories from the same people telling you stuff like that before you can realize that these people's DNA is making them tell you Bigfoot and Santa stories, and that means that their DNA is coded to create myths and lies and to deceive and manipulate you. And then of course you could just research why they all look related. But I guess that's a little bit easier than putting it together that NASA shouldn't be talking about Santa unless they're just people who want to deceive and manipulate you and shit. And promoting the rest of their shit. It's like putting all the gang signs out here on the hospital doesn't necessarily point out anything, but it should. It does if you see enough. It makes perfect sense why all the gang signs are all together, because all the gangs are all together. Because one gang rules the fucking planet and has for so long that no one else is able to do anything. Is that the excuse? Is that really the excuse how that's built like that? I don't know. It seems odd that certain people could do certain amazing feats that it seems like they would be incalculably able to achieve, especially at such a magnitude, such an ability to create so many different offshoots of the scams and deceptions, and just hell, that's like, and it's talented itself to be able to just remain so calm and while you're manipulating and deceiving people and shit, and do emotionless with a straight face, that's like a sign of a non-living being, I'll tell you that. When you're fucking emotionless, when it's like, when you can do that without emotions, I used to think like maybe it's just some human scum. And then I realized, like, well, that literally takes something that doesn't have emotions, and that's probably not a very good signifier that you're dealing with a human being. There's actually no, like, there doesn't seem to be any sort of definition there for what a human is supposed to be besides living. And that's just a word. It doesn't say anything. You know, it's not like, oh, this person can figure out things. It can it can it doesn't even say it can properly emulate emotions. It can properly display emotion. It has emotions. Emulating emotions is not a sign of living. It would be able to what would the correct wording be there? To have your own emotions and to probably not control and manipulate them. Yeah, I guess slavery is like a living being thing. Living beings like to enslave people. They like to drug people and rape children too, apparently. I always like, you know, that's like psychopathic, I guess. I would always write it off as that, but you know, since the 2020 stuff, it's more like, you know, I kind of get the idea that the emotionless ones, the ones who have to be fed emotions in order to display them back to you, kind of get the idea that's because there's nothing there to begin with. Especially after studying certain things so long and seeing, like, you know, the repeat patterns, like where they're unable to have a different pattern, even if it could benefit their line of manipulation and deception, you know, their lifestyle, their existence of, you know, if they were just like a psycho fucking child serial killer rapist, there's like creating all these magnificent fucking displays of scumbaggery and manipulation, enslavement, and fucking scams. A lot of that shit just don't add up since 2020. Like, it never has. It's always been weird as fuck. I was already testing it before 2020. That's why we had to get to 2020. Was because I had to fucking see what was going on. I had to see why shit was working or not working the way it was. Well, I'm sure things will change someday, right? What you got to do is wake up early in the morning and go give your money to Jeffrey Epstein's people. And, like they promised you, you're going to get to space heaven and the world's going to change thousands of years ago. It's going to change. Just keep giving them money. Just keep giving them money and children's wieners and your family and enslaving your family for them and enslaving everyone you ever meet for yourself sometimes too, because obviously you're going to need help to help enslave your family, so you're going to have to, you know, have your child, you know, offload some of the work. You're going to have some children so they can offload some of the hard work and shit. You know, because without children, who would make all these sugar-free nutrition drinks to help sell more products when people need actual food? And who's gonna go out on the streets and recruit people to bring in more donations and stuff? Yeah, sounds like we're on the path to changing It's only been a few thousand years. Hey, actually, to be not facetious, that is weird. They had to roll out the Satanist and atheist shit the last 100 years because someone somewhere must have had a thought, and it must have scared them into rolling out their fucking controlled opposition plans and shit. So, yeah, right. Because so many other things have changed on a scale of one thing maybe changing over 6,000 years, and they're probably creating 96,000 new scams a day. What's the math here on this? The math is my battery's dead on that cheap piece of shit. I wonder if I can even replace the battery. Three, 5, 6,000 times 365 divided by 1 equals not a lot. I think I did that math wrong. Yo, 6,000 times 365. I think I want to start without the division equation. Yeah, so we have 2,190 days, 190,000 days, and it looks like there's been one thing that changed, and 2 million, one thing that sparked. It didn't change because it's the same people in control of it. Didn't even change. Nothing even changed. So 0 is the answer now, isn't it? Out of the last 2,190,000 days, 0 things towards progress against this fucking call of genocide and fucking pedophilia and racial superiority has changed. 0 things has changed. But one thing somewhere caused them to have to roll out more controlled opposition. Probably not even new, but it is new that they're teaching someone that they're trying to teach people to not worship their race as gods, and they have to change the word to genius instead of gods. So, so we're on the path, because that was in the last 100. That was about 100 years ago. It seems to be they had to start rolling that out. So it's a matter of time before the avalanche comes crashing down on the last 2,190,000 days of scamming the planet. If the world's only, we're just cutting it off at 6,000 anyways, aren't we? I'm sure those pyramids were built more than 6,000 years ago, so we're really cutting that short off. So one thing scared them somewhere along the way and made them have to roll out their controlled opposition, or rather, they have a plan and they're force rolling it the fuck out to continue to remain in control by rolling out a controlled opposition plan that will remain to solidify fucking their power and ability to continue to scam. So, was there anything small, nothing of value that actually changed? I'm trying to think. No, they stopped electroshock therapy for people, and then they started drugging them. No, so nothing, that didn't change. Nope, they didn't stop electroshock therapy. They just did much worse. And they can do it in the open now. and all the humans agree they should drug and try to kill everyone that isn't their slave and servant. Um, the whole society bands together to try to do that shit. That bit them in their ass in 2020, didn't it? They got fucked up over doing that. Hey, we can say if we try to look at COVID as a frontal cortex virus as beneficial, which is not. It's not like they stopped drugging and killing people. I've been dealing with them since then. So, no, COVID wasn't very beneficial either. In Mexico, maybe they were always just better people who could act right, but they had little markers on the floor telling them where to walk and shit, and they weren't like running around like crackheads and, you know, bumping into each other and shit and ramming people's carts like they do in America. Especially like they were doing to me around that time. I definitely didn't experience that in Mexico, and that's weird because it's way more dense population. And I thought maybe that could have to do with all the signs on the floor, which were probably like due to COVID, you know, like walk this way and things like that. But it could, I think that also could just be because it's not the empire, and, you know, it's not Jabba the Hutt's people and shit, fucking, so they don't act that way. It's not their DNA. I kind of assumed that it's got something to do with that, because I didn't see a single crackhead laying around fucking when I was there, so they just didn't have that, right? They just didn't have a fucked up person blaming crack for everything, for how they act and shit, laying around everywhere. Fucking, yeah, so I don't know if that was like an actual change that happened because of COVID, where people in certain nations could like, you know, not ram into you with carts or shit like that at the store. Probably not. I think it's probably got something to do with the people, like not rushing around to like be in a hurry to conquer each other and conquer everyone else. Maybe I'm trying to assume positively there that COVID, they weren't just fucking reprogrammed by COVID. Fucking pretty sure the whole crackhead thing couldn't have been cleaned up by that anyways if it would have existed there. Or whatever you want to call them. What the fuck? What's the proper word for that shit? I'm tired of like I'm being part of the problem when I blame crack for how people act. Shiesty people probably like crack. Fucked up people probably like crack, and just wouldn't doubt it. Fucking, I'm really not a big fan of being like, oh, drugs made me this way and stuff. Yeah, although marijuana maybe could be explained for why my memory's gone, but I don't think it is. I think it's got to do, why was my memory gone when I was born? Fucking, why don't I have memories of my childhood? What is that about? I think that's got to do more with something. But then again, the humans drugging me for a long time makes me suspect that actually might have been, that might have worked for them and shit when I was a kid. Fucking, we won't know for sure because it all happened. So we should actually just blame it for that, right? Considering the fact that it happened. And I do use some of these drugs to erase my brain, and they're trying to give me more drugs that are even stronger like that. Fucking still. So they're the ones who have been doing that all along. And they obviously got the attempts on my life, so they're definitely not above that. The slavery and shit. trying to take me back to the caveman ages with their brain power, with their fucking, that way their family can, like, you know, still rule the earth and shit with their fucking caveman DNA and shit. We do have those patterns going on, huh? Just like the sugar-free shit. Who knows why that's a poison that fucking burns when you drink it and shit. Fucking, I don't think this one's actually sugar-free. It sure fucking tastes like it. I bet you they put it in here. Because it doesn't taste like real sugar. Fucking, it tastes like water. It's a lot of real sugar to taste like water. If I just drink sugar water, it tastes more like sugar than that. I'm sure tons of ingredients in there. Yeah, it does say pure cane sugar. Maybe that's why it tastes different, because pure cane sugar tastes different than raw sugar and refined sugar. So, but still doesn't quite taste like there's 27 grams in there. Makes me wonder what else. But I know the other stuff. Weren't other people saying that too for a long time, that that's like poison? And it's those people working for those people telling you. It's like the New World Order people are the ones telling you they're anti-New World Order and telling you what they're doing. Telling you what the New World Order is doing. They're evil twins. Fucking. They're evil twins, Satan. Fucking. They're invisible evil twins, Satan. Fucking. That doesn't own billions of dollars and cars and houses like they do. And has to be invisible and not exist and can't own or do anything. Fucking. Man. Fucking amazing stories, dude. Isn't it amazing? You get to spend your whole... Does everyone else get the same life where you get to spend your whole life listening to fucking people raping children and telling you about stories like that and shit? And like, you're like, gloomy, now loomy. This boy is now healed. Now to the naked eye, it looks like this boy is not healed. But I assure you, his spirit is healed. Now it's time to pass the collection plate. Fucking. Man. That shit's still on TV too, isn't it? I come from the city where the largest original television scam artist from the 90s comes from, Rod Parsley. It's like right in my freaking city. I used to think that was fun to watch because he like smacks people and he's like, "You're now healed, you crackhead." It's like, well, that's probably one way to heal a crackhead, right? You guys like drug them and electroshock therapy people you don't like, but I think generally they save that. Well, then again, he does generally travel to black areas, right, with his traveling televangelist smacking circus. But that's costly. Then again, who pays for the drugs? Fucking not them. They print the money. They don't even need that stuff. It is. Now that they don't have to print it. They got their crypto. They just type a 0 in their magical invisible crypto database. Where does crypto come from, guys? I don't know, man. But it's safe and secure. I'm sure it's safe, and no one could have invented it. It was a gift from... They'd say it was a gift from God, but their people are trying to separate themselves from their 214 other organizations they've invented. Like I said, sums up with that. Where there's like a little roadmap. I mean, a lot of people, especially their people, like John Schaefer, who was involved in the Capitol stuff, in his media, he used to talk about how they're like setting shit up and A lot of people talked about that, how like they're setting the whole fucking thing up and shit to make it happen and to force it to happen. And then that allows them like a scapegoat, right? Like they create like when their alien people come out like shapeshift and act like God, and then it can totally take all the scapegoatism from away from them and shit, fucking, and then they send them off like a bad donkey and be like, "Get out of here, bad donkey! I can't believe you manipulated the world and sold sugar-free products and all that, and drug people and children." Ah, fucking. Who knows for sure what's going on? Because no one seems to be discussing like the things that matter. They all, many of them seem to be furthering it and participating in it. So I find that hard to find people who aren't. Like, even when I'm just going outside, walking, going to the store and stuff, which is like the only times I even leave my house. It's when I have to go to the store or something. It still like slips in there and shit. In some real odd ways. It's real odd how that shit slips in there and stuff. Fucking. And then they talk to me like I want to be part of it or something. It's like, you see, that's another one of those things that doesn't make logical sense. Like, I don't know. Like some people talk to me like I am part of something or something, and it's like, what am I part of? Like, have you not noticed I'm not part of anything? I don't know where that assumption attitude really comes from. It, like the fact that they're able to make the assumption like seems weird, like they know something they're not talking about. But if they know something about me, then they might know that I'm not part of it. So it's one of those things. It's like, how do they make so many scams? I don't think they have that ability to do that, but yet they're running them. They're definitely running all the scams. And yeah, it's like, where's your dialogue comes from? Who's typing that into you and shit? And because they're not very informed themselves, I must add on that. And whoever's typing the dialogue in doesn't seem very informed. Okay, well, that was a discussion. I'm sure those things will get fixed. I've only talked about millions of things and millions of times, and seen what looked like a complete setup fucking 40 years after one of them. I guess some of those setups were a little bit shorter. But who knows? Maybe we can get them to invent different people who act differently. Kind of like how they're getting people to come in from out of town whenever they want to insert a friend or a lover into my life. However they do that, however they go invent a new person or hire a new actor in a different town, however it's done. Fucking clearly with I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because I tried running for president, and then I get the human race fucking trying to kill me and kidnapping me and fucking all working together to do it and shit. At least the ones in power fucking, along with a few fucking bombs to make it look like it's not them every now and then. I'm sure, and things will change, and then I'll get to die and go to heaven. Ah, and it'll be so great. When I'm dead, I'll get to like not be raped by the people who are going to heaven, who have been raping me here on the planet. Yay! Yay! Not be scammed by the people who are going to heaven. Fucking, you can't not be raped by the child pedophiles or going to heaven like the Pope and shit. Fucking. Can't wait to die and get to heaven after fucking being such a good slave. Boy. That's the dream life, ain't it? To come and work hard for Jeffrey Epstein. And I am so glad I was like ignorant, but just like allergic to that shit. Because you know how deep my life is. That's how I know fucking so much of this shit. Because I would get dragged into shit fucking. But I'm not very good at fucking wanting to keep hanging out in the same area, so it doesn't last very long. But it always ends up being like, or I actually had one person who like cut off from me. That was like one time that was like memorable. But I'm pretty sure they had just done a hell of a lot of shit too, and so that made that whole like year I spent around them look like real suspect. How that ended and shit. Fucking. That whole year is kind of like filled with a similar routes and paths. Some of them didn't look vicious, but you put them together, the fact that the people look the same and are related, and you study their writings about what their people do, and you watch what their people are doing, you kind of, those are good people, you know. The Pope raping children, they're the good people. Fucking Darth Vader should have worn white. He'd be a good person and shit. When they are the Empire, though, aren't they? Fucking. Anyways, that's another video, isn't it? Discussing how the cops, how the government is supposedly has separation of church and state, but the government, like, they go around with religious symbols on their fucking Nazi uniforms and shit, dude. Fucking, and their vehicles. What the fuck is that? How is that separation of church and state if you got pentagrams and Star of Davids on your vehicles and your buildings and every one of your fucking members of your fucking Nazi slaver crew that you only brought in to round up escaped slaves that the same people brought over here to fucking sell as slaves. Fucking, and then today it just, they fucking, like, everyone's a slave to them. Like, they're there to round up slaves. Pretty much what they're there for, and then kill ones who are talking about them, apparently, and shit. What else explains how their people worked together last year to fucking try to kill me and shit? Like, must be some sort of, either a secret meeting they're having, or, they're getting some bot code programmed in their head by the rat people or something. Maybe when they put those uniforms, those symbols on, that's when the devil possesses them. Yeah. I did notice fucking one of my sigils, I carved it myself to like ward off people. It started acting all weird. I was at a concert and shit. and I was at a concert at a very specific place of all concerts. Fucking wasn't too different than the average concert, but that was weird how that started acting weird and shit on my body. I, I mean, they're going around getting you to sell your soul to them. They're like, you gotta sell us your soul, or the devil will get it. Pledge your life to us. Fucking. Maybe that works. Fucking people think I'm that other person. Maybe that gives me power. I'm trying to figure out where my power is because I don't trust the things I've been seeing. I wouldn't necessarily say that's me, considering, we some of this begin with some of the changes that were supposed to be that would look positive, except for the fact, I'm dead now. Um, kind of involve people bringing diamonds into my life. Like, that doesn't look suspect, does it? I don't think I know a single man who can get a woman to buy them diamonds and shit. Maybe that's just my superhero power or something, but I mean, that whole thing, bro, I've mentioned a lot of that. A lot of that. There's a lot of shit. I'm trying to ignore it and forget it. And so I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure there's even more that I'm not remembering about some of those interactions. Not to mention, fucking in 2020, they sent someone who was obviously looking like a little child, and then someone else came up to me and said that's a little child into my life. So obviously I should be pretty suspect about these gifts, right? Fucking. Especially if you can't give me your ID and you look like a child. I'm going to assume that's not actually a gift, that's a Trojan horse there. But I don't think that's new. I think that's new with that's somewhat new because of my age now, but of course, kind of like reverse things happen when I was young sometimes. Fucking. Anyways, well, hopefully they can fix that, because after drinking that sugar-free stuff, I have to go eat food. And I notice if I just buy the sugar drinks, I'm not as hard pressed for starving and stuff. Like, because if I work out, I actually get hungry, and if I do some hard labor or something, then I actually get hungry. So I notice, like, my body gets all weird and stuff. Like, I'm drinking my sugar-free hydration drinks, and it's all like getting weak and stuff if I don't actually eat some food or something, or stomach hurting or being uncomfortable, whatever it is. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of stupid. I don't think everything should be sugar free like that. It seems like a real big scam, and there's just so many more scams going on. Why would I think it's just like an accident? That there's other people who say, not talking about this specific thing, saying they're like stripping nutrition from food and then reselling it. I was listening to some old people talk about, some wilderness guys talk about use your bacon fat, because I stored my bacon fat. I know Grandma used to do that and use it to grease pans. And I like doing that because it tastes better than oil. And good butter is expensive. And kind of sometimes tastes better than butter, depending on what you're making. I don't want to pour it down the drain because it'll clog up the drain. So I'm like saving it. And then I'm getting videos about, they're talking about saving the lard, and so they're talking about where that came from, and they pretty much were stripping it out of food in order to resell it as lard. So, um, yeah, my grandma, grew up before all the sugar-free stuff, and she wasn't fat until she got older, until all that stuff came out. And my great grandma wasn't fat at all, and her husband wasn't fat at all either. So they didn't eat sugar-free stuff, and they probably ate lard because they lived out towards small town countryside area. And my grandpa on the other side definitely wasn't fat, and he owned a farm, so he probably didn't eat a bunch of sugar-free processed foods and stuff. He probably ate what people on farms eat, like bacon and cow's milk, and I don't know. I never knew. That's one of those weird things that weird me out. Like when I go through Mexico and I don't see trucks delivering stuff, it makes me think of my family's farm. And yeah, how did they get food? They weren't even frickin'. How did they stay alive at all? They weren't even running the farm like when they got older and stuff. And I guess maybe they made a lot of money. I don't know. I don't ask my family about money. I would suppose that it's not for any farmer that doesn't. I mean, that's expensive to live in a little tiny apartment in a city. Imagine owning there's some ranches right down the road and stuff. I suppose that's not like. Yeah, that would probably take a lot to run. Like, okay, so I know people whose family own horses out here. Horses are probably real expensive and stuff. Let alone the farm on top of it. The ranch on top of it. Weird. I wonder how those things actually exist like that. It's so weird. Little anomalies here, man. These little anomalies add up into things that don't add up. It adds up into a bunch of stuff that doesn't add up, if you understand that. It's a lot of things that where the math just it's wrong here and there and there and there and there and there. And maybe there's something missing from the equation that evens it out, but it's a hell of a lot of math missing one or two equations that doesn't not it's like nothing actually falls into place on its own unless we get the missing equation there. It's weird, man. Anyways, well, I'm glad to hear my friend said he lost weight by drinking sugar-free stuff when he was younger, and then I think he gained it all back sometime after that. So I'm glad it helped someone at some point. But I think at this point, if I buy sugar-free stuff, I'm just going to go buy something with sugar in it to eat later on. So it just seems like it'd be in the way of